We're back again with another stimulus check update for you. And make sure you watch this video straight through all the way to the end. That way you don't miss out on a special bonus that we have in store for you at the end of the video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe. A special bonus that we individuals, more good news, mostly good news. I know you want to hear good news. I know you're tired of hearing about bad news, but we got a lot of good news for you today for our second stimulus check update for today, Sunday, August 16th of 2020. And we're going to be talking about Trump's unemployment memoranda that he signed along with an executive order last week, Saturday, how that unemployment boost is working out for the different states and the people in the states too also as well. We're going to be talking about a new plan, a proposal for increased Social Security benefits for the retirees. We're also going to be talking about a new offer to also as well coming from the White House, which is also good news to also as well. And we're going to be talking about really great news. We know the House was in recess until September 14th, as well as the Senate is on recess until September 8th after Labor Day. So we got a lot of good news about that too also as well. And first up on the list, we got Governor Dunleavy, who basically the Alaska governor has approved the plan to increase state unemployment benefits by $300 a week. His office said in a written statement on Thursday, and that is equal to half of a now expired $600 boost that was approved by Congress in the CARES Act in March earlier this year. Now, in other news concerning the unemployment boost, Trump's executive order / memoranda, have you, Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota issued a statement on Trump's lost wages assistance, a presidential memo. According to Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, she says, "My administration is very grateful for the additional flexibility that this effort would have provided, but South Dakota is in the fortunate position of not needing to accept it. South Dakota's economy, having never been shut down, has recovered nearly 80% of our job losses. South Dakota is the only state in the nation that did not have extended benefits kick in because our insured unemployment rate has been the lowest in the nation. We have the third best housing construction market in the country, and many businesses are looking to relocate to South Dakota because of the decisions we made during the pandemic. South Dakota is open for business. That applies to our business owners and their employees." Wow, that's just awesome. We live in South Dakota too, actually, as well. So we can testify, living testimony to that fact also as well. According to Kristi Noem, she says, South Dakota never shut down. We never shut down. The governor never shut down our state, and our economy has recovered nearly 80% of our job losses too. Also as well, our economy is thriving. Had one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. And more on Trump's unemployment boost executive orders. Trump, he boosted his unemployment executive order yesterday, and he praised the executive order. He praised the four states too, and he said, "Great work by the governors of Arizona, Iowa, Louisiana, and New Mexico, who responded to my executive action and promptly submitted applications that we approved quickly to support Americans out of work because of the C-word virus." And Trump tweeted this too also as well. And Trump also said there are more states to come, Trump promised. And also, we have a plan, a new proposal. Well, it's actually not brand new, but it is a proposal coming from Joe Biden, the presidential Democratic nominee, to also, it includes four, actually, I'm going to give you three Social Security changes that Biden wants to make to Social Security for retirees and people who collect Social Security. The first one is to increase the payroll taxation on high earners, and also to provide an enhanced special minimum benefit. Now, as of 2019, the special minimum benefit for lifetime low earners was $886.40 a month. Now, Biden's proposal entails setting the special minimum benefit limit at 125% of the federal poverty line. In 2019, 125% of the federal poverty line for an individual was $1,301 a month. And also, according to Joe Biden's plan, it would boost benefits for long-lived beneficiaries. Now, under his plan, beneficiaries between the ages of 78 and 82 would receive a 1% bump in their primary insurance amount each year until it reached a full 5% increase in the primary insurance amount. Now, also, we also have the White House pushing for a compromise with the Democrats on funding for the post office and stimulus checks in a new stimulus package to also as well. Now, the White House is pushing for a congressional compromise on U.S. Postal Service funding and stimulus checks for individuals as House Democrats decree President Trump's threat to withhold funding for USPS and link it to the administration's opposition to universal mail-in voting. Now, we have a statement here coming from Mark Meadows, which he told CNN's State of the Union. If my Democrat friends are all upset about this, come back to Washington, D.C. Let's go ahead and get a stimulus check out to Americans. Let's make sure that small businesses are protected with an extended payroll protection program and put the postal funding in there. We'll pass it tomorrow. The president will sign it. So this is basically a proposal or an offer coming from Mike Meadows and the White House to also as well, which is really good news, to see that some of the negotiators, which Mark Meadows is one of the four negotiators, along with Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, who is negotiating the next stimulus package, which includes a second stimulus check for us all. And the Democrats are pushing for funding for the post office, funding for mail-in ballots for the election, so that way people who cannot come out to vote because of the C-word sickness virus will be able to vote by mail. Okay, and we're going to be talking about Pelosi is to call the White House back into session to vote on a USPS bill. So that, in a way, is good news too also as well. And maybe could be bad news, because maybe it could just, have people distracted and more focused on this issue of the USPS, the Postal Service. But Speaker Nancy Pelosi said on Sunday today that she's calling the House back into session over the crisis at the U.S. Postal Service, setting up a political showdown amid growing concerns that the Trump White House is trying to undermine the agency ahead of the election. Now, Pelosi is cutting short lawmakers' summer recess with a vote expected Saturday after the Democratic National Convention. Pelosi had said actually in a letter on Sunday to her colleagues, in a time of panic, the Postal Service is election central. Lives, livelihoods, and the life of our American democracy are under threat from the president. So this is an issue that is another disagreement between the four negotiators, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mark Meadows, and Stephen Mnuchin, but more so the White House and Stephen Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, the Democrats. Now, members of Congress, they left Washington, D.C., as you guys already know, for the August recess, okay, and scheduled to not come back until the House is supposed to come back, like I said before, on the 14th of September, the Senate on the 8th of September after Labor Day. So the likelihood of a bill being passed over the next couple of weeks appears to be lower than many would hope. However, there is still a chance that a deal can be reached since congressional staffers have hinted that they expect to return to Washington this week to explore options for a stimulus bill, that is, which is good news. Maybe they can get to work on the next stimulus package, right? So that way we all can get our stimulus checks. So if the House is going to come back on the 24th, which is next week, Monday, this could possibly push along, negotiations over the next stimulus package, or it can push the House to move on the stimulus package, and maybe even the Senate. Who knows? I mean, Chuck Schumer, he encouraged the Senate today to also follow the House of Representatives lead and cancel the recess and come back to Washington as well to deal with the post office USPS issue. So they want to discuss the growing concerns over the Trump administration's management of the USPS too also. So this is really great news, folks, that they are coming back to Washington. They're canceling the recess and they're coming back to deal with an issue that is one of the issues that is part of the negotiations, the money for the post office. We know that there's disagreements before as far as money for the states, that the Democrats were asking for almost $1 trillion, and the Republicans says, no, we don't want to give $1 trillion to the states. But some Republicans in the Senate propose a $500 billion for the states, and also disagreements around the $600 unemployment boost, which the Senate passed the HEALS Act. Well, they never passed anything for stimulus, okay? Stimulus checks, that is, okay? They introduced a bill into the Senate called the HEALS Act, but they never passed it. In contrast to the House of Representatives, they actually passed a bill dealing with stimulus called the HEROES Act back in May 15th, okay? So now they have this other issue to work out dealing with the post office. And Trump is very, in my opinion, I believe Trump is insecure about, this mail-in voting thing. It has a little history behind it back to the 2016 election with Bernie Sanders, and some Bernie voters were saying on social media that there was a lot of cheating involved in New York and Arizona and several states, right, concerning the voting, okay? And Trump kind of knew, or Trump brought up that Bernie had been cheated out of the 16 election, and that's why Hillary became a Democratic nominee in 2016. So Trump, in my opinion, he's kind of like, very protective and making sure that he gets a fair shot. And I know that Trump sees that he's losing in most of the polls right now, including the swing states. So I believe that's another reason why he's doing this. Now, some people have the opinion that Trump is doing this only because, like Trump said himself, if they allow mail-in voting, there will never be another Republican president, and that he will not win mail-in voting. So that leaves me to think and wonder, I kind of see where that opinion is coming from, the people who feel that way, because mail-in voting would cause more people to vote, right? If more people vote, then possibly Trump could lose the popular vote, and it could make it more likely that Biden wins in November. Okay, so pretty much that's all I got for you. It's not all, the news is not all bad, folks. We got great news. We had good news, great news yesterday. We got even better news today. So make sure that you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Trump boosting his executive order to 5 different states, with the $300 extra unemployment boost, or what you think about the House coming back into session on the 24th, which is next week, Monday, and possibly they could be talking about stimulus too, also as well. What do you think about the offer that was made coming from the White House and Mark Meadows to the Democrats, they can get a bill signed? According to what Mark Meadows said, he can have a stimulus package signed on Trump's desk tomorrow, and we could have a bill. We could get our stimulus checks a couple of weeks later after that. Everyone could be happy. So let me know how you feel about that in the comment. Also, join our Facebook group. It's free to join. You see the link and then in the description. Just hit the down arrow here. See other links for free money and other helpful resources there too also as well. And from all of us here at the How to Get an 800 Credit Score LLC family, stay safe, be blessed, and we'll see you in the next stimulus check update video tomorrow. Bye for now.
My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and on this channel we talk about ways to increase your credit score, build credit, and get approved for the lowest payments on mortgages and lines of credit, travel the world for free, earn extra money with cash back. And if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss a single video as we make them.